Hey, yes. What is going on? How are you all doing? What's going on, beautiful people? How's life? How's everything? Today is the 42nd day of our daily power hours. And yes, we are here with you to create a shift, a change in our lives. The intention of this daily power hour is to spend an hour together every day to create strategies and create pathways for us to break through to the next level, to break through beyond what we are being limited by through our own limiting beliefs. And speaking of limiting beliefs, before we get into today's conversation, we want to actually discuss something very important. Who is this show for? That's a very important idea. This event, this Daily Power Hour podcast, which is live, by the way, this is 100% live, is for anybody who wishes to experience growth in wealth, in success, and in fulfillment. If you want to grow in fulfillment, in success, and in wealth, there is only one important key ingredient which is always missing from our lives, which is what causes us to actually not be able to kind of push ourselves through and carry on. And that important key ingredient is the circle, is the network, is a tribe, is the accountability partner, which is why when people actually create their wealth and they are making more money, they go and they hire professionals to help them with their coaching, with the results coaching. They're called results coaches. There are many results coaches. Some of them get paid in thousands of dollars per hour, per hour, just because their job is to make sure that you set your goals that you want to experience and they hold you accountable so that you follow through and you identify where you're slipping, and then they help you dust yourself, get up, put your act together, and continue on the journey that you are on. So this is very important and it's very critical for anybody who doesn't have hundreds of dollars per hour or thousands of dollars to hire people like us to come and help you one-on-one. This event every day, this power hour every day, is supposed to be our way of giving back to our community so that you can hopefully also leverage the information, the strategies, the available paths forward that are presented to us through generations, through the research of many successful strategists, many successful individuals who are self-made, who share their wealth of knowledge with us so that we could actually use it ourselves. That's what we're here for you to do every day. So if you want to grow, you can use this as your accountability and as your strategic development crew so that you can actually experience and gather what you need so that you can get on your best moves. Because without massive actions, without taking those steps that are required for us to do things, we're always going to be stuck and stagnant. And stagnation is the complete opposite of development and growth. So if you want to grow, if you want to experience more wealth, if you want to experience more health, if you want to experience more love into your relationship or anything else, really, as a matter of fact, what you gotta do is you have to be able to get your massive actions consciously planned out with a blueprint, and then commit yourself to pulling yourself together every day to keep on showing up and doing the actions, taking the actions necessary for you to experience what needs to happen. This is very important, mind you, because everybody goes like, oh, I tried losing weight, I went to the gym for a month and nothing happened. There is always a delay in the payoff. So the payoff is obviously always delayed in nature. That is how things are. Because if it was instant, it wouldn't be fun, and it wouldn't separate those who are actually serious about experiencing a change from those who are just whimsically wanting to experience a variety. See, a variety and change and growth are very different. People want to experience a lot of variety to get their minds distracted from what it is that they're focusing on right now, yet growth is completely separate and different than variety. Growth is actually embracing uncertainties and going about it, going at it continuously, understanding there is always a delay between how you have to show up every day and put in your best and put in your best efforts, and you cannot give up until you're rewarded with a payoff. That is the same with schooling, that is the same with your job, that is the same thing with your relationships. It's the same thing in nature. When you plant a seed, it doesn't give you fruits right away. You have to nurture it, you have to show up every day, you have to water it, you have to give it all that it requires, the right amount of sun. It will take a year and a half, 2 years before your plant starts bearing fruits. Same thing is happening in your life. I don't know why is it that we have this expectation that when I do something, I have to see the results right away. You don't see results right away. You gotta beat that mentality out of your system, because by thinking that anytime I do something, a result must occur right away, that is actually one of the biggest pains that brings so much suffering to humanity, which is why, by the way, in the era of 3-second attention span, by the way, that everybody's so proud of, everybody's like, yeah, we're living in the 3-second attention span. If you have 3-second attention span, that is not anything to be proud of, my friend. That is actually something that you need to be cognizant of, because when you are stepping in the world of being rewarded in 3 seconds for something you like or something you don't like, you're literally missing out on the concept of life that stipulates anything worth experiencing must have a journey that you have to endure and you have to go through. Even a baby being formed, it takes 9 months for a human baby to just be formed before it's even born. For every animal, it's a different period. Funny enough, the higher in the level of consciousness that we are as species, the longer it takes for us to experience the payoff. So in mammals, the baby takes longer for it to develop and to nurture and to grow. Yes, you could say they're more sophisticated, but it's not also about sophistication. I really feel like there is a direct correlation between how conscious you are as an awareness, as a being, and how much you have to do the caring and showing up and showing that you're committed for you to get the payoff. And just the same way that we have to be committed to whatever it is, the outcome that we want to experience, and take massive action every day consistently in that direction, that same conversation is carried on everywhere in your life. You want more money? You gotta do the same thing. You want better relationships? You gotta do the same thing. You want better love life? You gotta go through the process. And today we're gonna talk about the formula of transformation. Okay? What is the formula of transformation that is required for us to follow through so that we could experience breakthroughs and transformations on our turn, on our terms, instead of having to wait in order for us to get so hurt by our experiences that we hit the rock bottom, so that we say, shit, all right, I see, this is the time, enough. There is a 3-stage formula which we as breakthrough consultants have to follow through with our clients every time we get called in and they want to experience a conscious breakthrough. So many times, and I'm about to share that with you today, that's what we're about to learn. If you stick around, or if that's something that interests you, you want candy floss. I don't know what candy floss is. If it's a street term for something that is not good, no. We are going to talk about today the formula, the 3 steps that we have to follow through every time We are about to experience a breakthrough. Are you ready for it? Stick around, because this is going to change the way you see shifting the direction of your life in the path that you want. By the way, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what is good or bad. I'm just sharing a formula that you could use. It's like a recipe. It's like a cooking formula that you could cook whatever it is that you want. Okay, you ready for this? Let's talk about this. Step number one, there are 3 S's. We call them the 3 S's that are required for breakthroughs. Okay, so the breakthrough, and by the way, your messages on YouTube, I can see. If you're on YouTube channel, I could see what you're saying. I don't know what 2M means, but whatever it means, please elaborate, because you're saying 2M, Leonardo, 2 times. I don't know what you mean. But the formula, I love your interactions. I love to speak with you in real time. As you can see, the show is live, and I actually pin you guys so that you know that your messages are being seen. We are here to grow together. The 3 S's of breakthrough, conscious breakthrough, so that you could get out of your current state and get into a new state, okay? The 3 states, the 3 S's. Strategy is number 1. Strategy is always required for you to be able to achieve something. The strategy of losing weight, the strategy of putting on weight, the strategy of getting out of an abusive relationship, the strategy of getting into a loving relationship, the strategy of becoming more efficient so I could make more money, the strategy of what I need to do to purchase a home. Every single thing you do in your life requires a strategy. A strategy simply means that there are steps you have to take that are chronological. And here's the thing, the way I love to speak about this is phone number. See, a phone number is a set of sequential numbers, a strategy that I could provide to you. For example, if I give you the 10 digits that are required for you to, strategically punch into your phone for you to be able to get in, get in touch with me. Can you get to me if you put in the numbers in the wrong order? If you put the numbers, even one of them, in a wrong order, even though they are the same 10 digits numbers, you will not be able to get to me no matter how many times you ring that line, because you're using the wrong strategy. You're using the right numbers, wrong strategy. The right strategy is what you need to be able to experience the outcome. And the way as humans we pick up strategies is through the teaching of other humans that have come before us. Does that make sense? If it makes any sense, then you say yes and snap your fingers, drop a 1 in the chat. If you're in YouTube, that'd be amazing. I could see hopefully what you're saying. And on any of the 14 platforms that you're watching us on right now, I don't see your messages, but I hope that you do get interactive and do put a 1 or a yes or whatever makes you feel good. I want to just make sure that we're going at the same pace with each other. Strategy is super important. If I give you the formula on what it is to lose weight and you don't follow it through with the right sequence of eating properly, then working out properly, then you will not get the result that you want. You could just eat properly, but if you don't do the next step, you're not going to follow through with the same strategy. You're not going to be able to reduplicate the same results. Strategy is significant. And by the way, in these daily power hours, we strive to bring to you strategies such as this very same formula so that you could actually take something away from it every day. Okay, there's nothing to sell you but your own dreams that you are capable of experiencing when you have the right environment, group, community, tribe, and the most important thing is right strategies. Okay, but now here is the other thing. We said 3 S's. Strategy is one of them. There are 2 more, and the important thing I want to share with you right away is that we start with the least impactful. So the least impactful, surprise or not, is strategy, even though I told you how powerful the strategy is. So without the right strategy, you're going to be spending a lifetime like a dog chasing its own tail, not experiencing any desired outcome. So without the right strategy, just forget it. You're wasting your time. You're going trying to reinvent the wheel, which is a terrible, terrible idea. You don't want to go reinvent the wheel. You want to find out whatever it is you want to experience. For example, that's why we go to school. You want to become a dentist, you go find where is the good dentist school that is good and they also accept me. That's where I want to go. You don't go on the street trying to figure out from the scratch what it means to actually pull a tooth out and how do you go about doing it. You don't do that. Or you don't go to just figure out engineering on your own. You go to the school that already has the strategy, the formula, and you ascribe and subscribe to their teachings so that you will hopefully be able to take them, duplicate it, commit yourself to it, and produce the same identical results that are expected of somebody who follows those strategies. That's how you become a professional. But there are strategies everywhere in life. Even in religion, there are strategies on how to get closer to the Creator. In community, there are strategies of how to actually reduce violence and increase communities' outreach. There are strategies everywhere. Number two, which is the second most important thing, is this story. Story, I cannot start to tell you how important it is. Because everyone has a story in their mind, which is the what we've been talking about for a long time, for now 42 days. Everybody has the same story in their mind of what their life is like, why it is the way it is, and whether they can or they cannot do something. That is a story that we all have in our mind. It does not mean that it's true. Our stories in our mind keep on changing. We actually change them in a snap of a finger when it actually suits our need. As a matter of fact, one day we wake up and we are upset. Another day we wake up and we are totally excited and happy. Why? Because every day we wake up with a different story to begin our day. That story is what's going on and what's playing in our mind based on whether I can or I cannot, whether I should or I should not. The story is oftentimes the anchor that keeps us grounded to where we are, not allowing us, even when we use the strategy. This is a perfect example, losing weight, okay? How hard is it to lose weight? Here's the answer to that question. The answer to how hard it is to lose weight completely depends on your story. If your story is that I have good genes and I'm able to do it and I'm strong, it's going to be very easy for you to lose that weight. If your story that you keep on telling yourself is that I have bad genes, I'm big boned, and like I have genetic issues, I have hormonal problems, for me it's a battle, and I'm too obese, then you are not going to lose that weight, because the strategy to losing weight is so simple. Take in less calories into your body than what your body needs to burn on a day, in a day-to-day basis, on a daily basis. That's so simple. It's not rocket science. The strategy is simple. How many people are losing weight and how many struggle with losing weight? So many. Why? Because, for example, talking about clients that I have personally, they want to lose that weight, but because they have the belief system that in my diet, I need to have rice or bread in order for my meal to be a full meal, they're stuck in that vicious cycle of trying to manage better eating, lowering the caloric intake, yet they're still putting in the starches and they're still putting in what doesn't help their body in terms of complex carbs that will mess them up. So simple. So as a distraction, I love actually these goofy clown comments. What I have in my head is completely relevant to your story. If your story is one of seeing things as ugly, you see what I have on my hair as something weird and ugly. If you've trained yourself to see everything in the world as beautiful, then you see it as something beautiful. I don't care what you see it as, or it doesn't really even matter what my physical appearance is. What matters is what's the story you're telling yourself. I love these comments because they literally always fit in at the perfect time, come from the perfect person that just joined us, that wants to be cute, and they just show us that the stories that we were just discussing are literally driving the narrative of how you see the world that you're experiencing, not only what your life is like. The reason we experience life a specific way, whether it's that you're suffering in love, in money, in health, in relationships, in success, or you have all of those covered, is 100% directly correlated to the story that you keep on telling yourself. So it's irrelevant what is on top of my head. What matters is what's the story you want to tell yourself about it. What is the story of your time here, a few minutes that you're going to join this conversation in and out, that you're going to leave with? Are you going to leave knowing that the stories that you've been telling yourself are your own stories and they're the absolute truth, which means you're going to put yourself with 98% of planet Earth's population believing that a single dimensional perspective of life, which is the story that I tell myself, is the only true way that life manifests itself and is the only way that life is possible? If that's your case, then so be it. You just get to continue experiencing the same occurrences of your life that will just go in a loop. You experiencing the same experiences over and over and over again until you hit the rock bottom and understand that it is no longer what I tolerate, because the beliefs that I used to carry with me have 100% at a subconscious level, 95% of the 60,000 thoughts that you go through your mind every day when you're awake, today 95% of them is the same as yesterday. Which means you think the same things that you thought about yesterday, and your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings now create whether you do or you do not do something. This is science. Now, of the 95% of the thoughts that are repeating exactly today the same as yesterday, 60% of them are statistically focusing as a part of our story that we keep on living in on what's missing, on what's not right. You understand what I say? And that means when you focus on what is missing on this person as a story in your own mind, in terms of, let's say, for example, the comment we just talked about, which is this person having a hair that looks like what I believe to be acceptable in my version of this story, then what you're doing to yourself is that you're living in a single dimensional possibility of life. And every time you do not see, it's called confirmation bias. We literally live in this continuous confirmational bias loop of telling ourselves stuff that are not true. None of what you believe, I don't care what it is, none of what you believe is what you created as the basis of truth. Everything we believe, this is still the stories conversation. If you remember 3 steps, strategy, story, we're still on story. Stick around because number 1 is the most profound one, and that's going to come soon. But story is literally created through the thoughts and the beliefs, that those 60,000 beliefs and thoughts that, by the way, what is a belief? What is a belief? Let's just talk about this for a second. A belief is a thought that has been going inside our mind so many times that we just stop questioning it as whether it's true or not. That becomes a belief. A belief is nothing more than a thought. Nassim says, how sad we're getting distracted with BS. And it is true. We get distracted with the BS that our own hamster brain throws at us, the monkey mind throws at us, and they always come from the belief, the perspective that we have it figured out, and whoever else is talking in front of us, they're talking nonsense. It's smack. I got it all figured out. Again, this is just an example, but if my head is shaved, or if I have a normal hair, then that's good. If somebody doesn't have normal hair, then that means it's not good. Then I should stop paying attention to what it is, the content that's being delivered, and I should actually focus on what is not even relevant. It's like picking out what you eat based on how it looks. Imagine if you actually only ate what looks good. What state will your body be in? Will you get all the nutrients that you need? No! You will not get what you need because you're judging the book by its cover. This is literally what we do day in, day out. And again, that's why I pinned the comment, because on a day in, day out, we focus literally on everything that makes us feel secure and certain, that aligns with our beliefs. And those beliefs are just thoughts that you have for the past decades of your life been regurgitating inside your mind. By the way, while you're with us, if you are getting any value out of this, I'm not selling you anything and I'm not signing you up for anything. Just put a like the video, so that we could see that the algorithm will appreciate it and give it to more people, seeing that it is helpful. That's all I ask for. I'm not even asking you to subscribe. If you want to, you can do that. Every day we come back and we talk about different things. But today's belief conversation is where everybody, oh, by the way, this is lovely. You get to keep every belief that you fight for. Tell yourself that, because anytime you fight to keep a belief, you get to keep it. It's yours to keep. And guess whose life it actually directly affects? Your beliefs affect your life. Because at the end of the day, if you want to become the most bitter person due to the belief system that you decided to fight for, to keep for yourself, all you're going to do is you're just going to disperse all the good people from around you. And what you're going to do is you're going to attract more people that have the same disempowering beliefs as yourself. And then now you become, you put yourself inside an echo chamber. An echo chamber is what most of the society, 98% of planet Earth today, is living in. So I think a certain way, I believe certain things, and in order for me to be happy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just surround myself with more people that think the way I do right now. Biggest mistake you can make in your life. Because anytime you surround yourself with people that think the same way you think right now, you're just setting yourself up for failure, which is the absolute opposite of growth, by keeping yourself stagnant. And now you create so many anchors with different people and different environments that just reinforce what you were believing, because it makes you feel certain and secure, which is the first and most foundational of the 6 basic human needs that every human wants to experience on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis, despite what cultural background, what belief system, what religion, what language we all speak. Because the basic human needs, the 6 of them, are the same for every human on this planet. It's at a deeper psychological level. It's like your blood color, that is red. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are on this planet, it's the same color. It's the same system. So if you feel that your life is not where you want it to be, the most important thing you got to do is what I started with at the beginning. Do not surround yourself with people who are making you feel comfortable. Surround yourself with people that will push you and demand of you to be more of what you want to be. And we appreciate you, Nassim. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. I want you to understand, if you want more money, you gotta find successful clubs, association, organizations, chambers of commerce, BNIs. Go and put yourself in those time over time over time. Get involved. If you cannot afford hiring results coaches, then you do the next best thing, which is to go and get involved with communities that are willing to give you value and give you strategies and assist you to change your stories so that you could start taking ownership that what I was telling myself for decades has not been the absolute truth. It is somebody else's truth. So how many times, we know this in psychological studies, how many times we actually find out that kids that turn into adults grow up thinking they're incapable of doing something, or they are very capable of doing something, because when you trace it back in regressional therapy, you always get to the source, which is what the parents told them they are or are not capable of when they were growing up. So what you think you're good at, or what you think you're not good at, it is not the truth. The story you're telling yourself, it is not the truth. It is just somebody else that told you that, and what at one point in your life, and you decided at that moment that you're gonna agree with that, and you no longer question that thought, which is why it becomes a belief. Now, some of us have beliefs that we call core beliefs. Core beliefs are beliefs that we don't even want to touch, because the strongest desire within any human being is the desire to stay consistent to the story that they keep on telling themselves. Why? Go back to the first of the 6 basic human needs, because it makes us feel certain and in control, which becomes a vicious self-fulfilling prophecy. So throughout our upbringing, throughout our childhood, we are told so many things about what we are or aren't capable of, what we should or shouldn't do, what is good or what is bad. And those become, a lot of them become core foundational beliefs. And those beliefs we don't want to touch. As a matter of fact, not only we don't want to touch, we don't even let anybody else question. Because when somebody comes and questions them, we get so defensive that we want to fight them. Who says your beliefs are good? My beliefs are not bad. Okay. Remember, you get to keep every belief you fight for, because those beliefs are creating your story. Those beliefs that you're fighting to keep create your story. And your story is what either prevents you from taking the actions necessary to experience what you want, which you have to understand always comes with a delay. We actually call it delayed gratification at the expense of instant satisfaction. Anytime you exchange the hardship at the moment in this instant, which we called instant satisfaction, anytime you give yourself a shot, a dose of instant satisfaction at this moment, because you didn't want to deal with the discomfort or the uncertainty of what you're taking on as a new experiment, you're further delaying the final payout, which is the gratification, which is the more sustainable emotional feeling of fulfillment that everybody wants, yet nobody has. Why is it that we have successful people that don't feel fulfilled and they take away their own lives, such as Robert Williams, Michael Jackson's, Amy Winehouse, and so many famous billionaires, millionaires, so many celebrities? Because they have success, they don't have fulfillment. Why do they not have fulfillment? Well, I just told you. Because instant satisfactions. as opposed to doing the hard thing of embracing the uncertainty of why is it that I don't feel well right now? Why is it that I feel discomfort when I know that I gotta push through until I could experience that delayed gratification, that final payout, that grand experience that I'm after. And every time we just cheat ourselves by reaching out for those small instant gratification, instant satisfactions, which oftentimes today in our day and age has become the phone distraction, social media scrolling, just stumbling upon pieces that make you feel laugh. As a matter of fact, this very channel that you're seeing here, AI or Buy on YouTube, which is our YouTube big channel, it used to be a 450,000 subscriber channel that used to be called Raging Humor. We used to put up videos of fail videos the same way Fail Army is doing all of his videos, of their videos right now. That was the video. You know what happened? It's so weird. It's as if the universe wanted this to happen. No kidding. The God, universe, whatever energy you believe in, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna sit here and fight you over the words that you believe in, that you think are true versus what I think is true. I just believe there is one foundational core creator, energetic being, source that we all come out of, like the waves out of the ocean. Okay, you want to call it whatever you want, good for you. I'm not going to fight you with that. So call it what you want. I want you to understand that when our channel went down because we got 2 community strikes and it had 450,000, we were making great money from our YouTube channel and we had millions of views on our channel. Millions of views. What was really interesting is that as we started going through our shift in our own lives, trying to figure out how to find fulfillment instead of success, because I had success, yet I felt very depressed. I had the money success, I had the fame success, I had this beautiful partner success, I had a great family success. So that's what I'm telling you. This is all personal. None of this is hearsay. None of this is stories that I've heard from other people. It's strategies that I've picked up as I went through the experience of having to redefine who I am, because I've had success, yet because I had zero fulfillment, I felt like a failure, which means I actually was finding myself in the illusion of feeling depressed. And along that same time, the YouTube channel went down, so we just took everything off and we were like, you know what? This is no longer serving the mission, because I stopped chasing what we started with, which was putting the funny moments and sharing the giggle with people. And I realized those giggles were not helping me. How is it going to help other people? And we had a 360 degree or 180, whatever you want to call it, shift in the direction that we went. Right now, we're not putting funny videos anymore, and the channel is completely different. Yes, we're losing people, 100,000 people already. That's completely okay. You can go and subscribe to Fail Army. They're the biggest channel that show you fail videos still. As a matter of fact, I invite you to do that if that's what your life path is. No judgments. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that instant satisfactions do not serve us, because they only distract us from paying attention to what needs to be paid attention to. And it just further delays the time period which takes between when we need to commit ourselves 100% to our own new version of being that we want to experience, and the manifestation or the experience of that new version of ourselves. Whatever you want to call it. Again, don't get stuck in words. It's funny, the moment I say the word like God, religion, or creator, like we just lose like 40% of the viewers. This has been 40 days in a row. It shows you how emotionally triggered we are with our belief systems. That the moment somebody says something, and by the way, I used to be like this myself 100%, which is why I felt stagnant despite all the success that I built for myself. And it didn't end up well. The dark night of the soul came in the middle of the pandemic. I had to change the story, but the way I was able to do that is I found the right strategy by starting to sign up and pay so much money. We spent over 180,000 US dollars between me and my partner in 2.5 years on programs that we had to attend for us to be able to pull all of these new information strategies so that we could get help and actually change the story and use the right strategies to do that. And now I told you about story. I think that's a good enough description of how important the story is and how critical of a role the story plays in our day-to-day lives to shape the way we experience life, the way we think, the way we behave. And the last but most important, because without the last step, the last S of the 3 S's that we require to create a breakthrough on our own terms, without that, nothing else works. You could have the right story, you could have the perfect strategy, it will not work, even if you fix the story in your own mind. And the last S, which is the most important one, which is why I told you we go from the least powerful to the most powerful, to the most effective, is state. State. State is the most important thing that you need to be aware of, because without the state, the story that you're creating for your new possibility will keep on relapsing into the old 95% of yesterday every time. Every time. And what is state? State is energy. State is essentially your state right now. What is your state? Are you in a good state? Are you in an energetic state? Are you hyped? Are you down? Are you happy? Are you just normal? Your state creates the difference between whether you can or whether you can't. See, the story tells you I can or I cannot, but the state will get you to do what you think you can't, even if your story is you can't. In the right state, you can do it. That's why, for example, peer pressure changes your state to make you do something against your own will, belief systems, or stories. By shifting your state. This is so important, because with changing the strategy for people, you're not able to achieve anything because their story is still garbage. Change their strategy and give them a new story. Okay, now they have a new hope and not as many limiting beliefs. However, they're not taking the actions necessary because the state is in a depleted, depressed state of energy. And by the way, that's why physical movement is the most important thing you can do for your state. Going for walks, grounding bare feet to the ground, to the grass, going to the gym, going on a bicycling run, doing whatever you need to do to move your physiological body. Because the thing is, the truth is, the physiological body, as it moves, it changes the state. And the stories and our states hold each other just the same way. If you remember, we talked about this in the past. Our thoughts create feelings, our feelings create whether we do or don't do something. The thoughts are the story, and feelings are our state. And what we do or don't do are the strategies. So you see how they all connect? That is why if you want to create the right state, you got to change the thoughts that even tell you, yeah, I'm not even capable of doing this. I can't. I don't know how to do this. or I'm not good at it, or this wasn't my thing, or this is not in my genes. That's the best one. Epigenetics, science of epigenetics today knows that only about 6 human conditions are genetics, which means they're passed on from the mother and the father to the child. The rest of them, yes, we experience a lot of genetic uptake or downtakes, upregulation or downregulation of the genes that create havoc inside the body. However, the down or upregulation of our genetic manifestation of our DNA is 100% scientifically today understood that is a result of the thoughts that you produce inside your own mind. So not only the thoughts are responsible for the story, which prevents us from actually taking the steps to find the strategies and actually changing our own state, but they're actually literally within your body physically managing the up and down regulation of your DNA's genes. So, my friend, this was a great, I think, stepping stone for you to understand that when you want to create a breakthrough in your life, you must ascribe to a strategy that has been found to work by the people before you, that you can use on your own, in your own way, to experience what it is that you want. If you notice, I didn't tell you what to do with your life. Nobody can tell you if you're doing a right thing or a wrong thing. As a matter of fact, amazing results coaches don't even tell you if what you're doing is good or bad, because what you're doing could be good for you and it could not be ideal for me. We're all here, 8 billion of us, to experience something that we need, and our needs are unique to us. It's unique to me. So who am I to tell you if it's right or wrong? You don't go to consultants to ask if something you're doing is right or wrong. You don't ever do that. A good consultant will not tell you if you're doing something that's right or wrong. A good consultant will tell you what you're doing, is it going to get you the results that you want, yes or no? That's all they do. So, always start with your thoughts, because your thoughts, your story, create this difference between whether I can shift my state, my energy, or not. Have you realized when you go to an event and everybody's having fun, it's a birthday, wedding, celebration, New Year's Eve, Christmas dinner, it doesn't matter. Everybody's having a great time. Does time go fast or does time go slow? Does time go fast or slow? You could put it in the comments. Love from Pakistan. Yes. Love, man. Love. Thank you so much. The big meal. Thank you for joining us from the other side of the planet. I wish you an amazing time. And Nasim says, learning something new every day and so thankful for this daily power hour. Nasim, we are very thankful that you're getting value here. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for sharing your kind words that give us more energy. So, back to it. When you are at an event, at a party, at a celebration, and everything is going amazing, does time go fast or slow? I'm still waiting. Somebody on YouTube, at least I could read your comments. Let me see if we could see anybody on Instagram. No, we don't see any comments on Instagram. Sometimes I could see these. Farzad says, are you in Asia? No, we are not in Asia, Farzad. We are right now in the beautiful sunny state of Florida, USA. So the answer to that is obvious. Thank you. Now I'm seeing the answers. Time goes so fast. Anytime you're having fun and you're in a good state, time just flies and everything is possible. Have you seen or remember when you were feeling in love and if the whole world was just beautiful? You're just holding your partner's hands and walking in the street and nothing is a problem. Nothing is a problem. Why? Because your state is in a very empowered, you're high in all the good hormones in your body. Oxytocin, you got like the serotonins, you got the dopamine, you got even the endorphins. Everything comes with love and with being in a good state. And from that state, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. True or false? When you're in love, when you feel like you're completely energetic, can you do whatever it is that you want? You're not even thinking about I can't. Your partner asks you, can you do this for me? You're like, yes, I can. I'm going to do it right now. You don't even know if you can. You just go ahead and do it. Because the state overpowers your story. So please, anytime you catch yourself saying to yourself you can't or you're not anything, in that instant, remember this conversation here together. Immediately change your state. If you're sitting, you get up and you just say, yes, yes, let me put on a song and dance. Put on a song, put it in your ear and just dance and move your body. This is the thing, you just move your body, move your body, move your body, change your state. Your state is how you're behaving. What we call thoughts that create feelings are instant moments of our experience. When the feelings get prolonged, they become moods. So for example, if you're experiencing prolonged feeling of sadness, you're in a sad mood. If you're experiencing prolonged feelings of excitement, you're in an excited mood. And when your mood actually goes prolonged, it turns into a state that becomes more solidified. And that's what we call persona. A persona is our predictable state that our environment knows that we are usually in, for the most part. That's why you could be known as the happy person, and then if something not happy happens in your life, then you're like, ah, shit. You go to a meeting and then or a gathering and everybody's like, what's wrong? Right away they see you, they know. Right away they know. Why? Because your persona, what you usually show up as, is not who you showed up as today. Today you're in the mood to be something different. Why did that happen? Because the state, the feeling at that instant moment of whatever it was that your thought was creating, the story over the mind, the story has gotten prolonged and you're stuck in that pattern, just processing the same story over and over and over again, which actually all it does is that you end up reliving the moment over and over and over again. That's why a lot of people say, oh, don't think about it. When they say don't think about it, they mean don't recreate that story in your mind repetitively. And the way you get to do that is to actually deal with it. Is not to just brush it off and not think about it. You cannot do that. Because something that's inside your mind as a story is there for a reason. You got to deal with it. The only way you could deal with it is from a peak energetic state. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. You want to put yourself at a peak energetic state, get your state up, and now look at your problem that you were looking at again. I guarantee you, if it was so big, now it's small. Now it's solvable. Now it's at least allowing you the opportunity, so you follow up and find a strategy that will allow you to overcome it. All right, that's it. Perfect. Perfect. Joe says, I understand. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate you. Today was a beautiful day with all of you. We're at the end of the hour. Thank you so much, all of you, for co-creating this beautiful power hour with us another day. Until tomorrow, where we get to talk again. Lots of love, lots of blessings, lots of happiness, success, and amazing peak state from mine to yours, from my space to your space. I'm just sending you all that energy, the peak state, and love. Please use it. Please remember, you're a miracle. You're a wonderful being. You're not weak. You're not incapable. You're the most capable version of yourself. Just change the story by changing the state. And we are here for you with the strategies, as you see. That's what we're here for. So please, if you got any value out of this, it would be absolutely lovely if you gave it a like, a thumbs up, a heart, and shared it with somebody that you care about as well. Our videos all get stored on our YouTube channel at AI or Buy. That's where we are. And we have just the past 42 days there as a reference if you want to go and watch any other ones. We're going to start putting out the short bits of them in 1 minute pieces, in 30-second pieces. So hopefully you'd be able to find what you resonate with and actually share it with your loved ones as well. I love you so much. Thank you. My name is Bliss, Breakthrough Consultant, and we are here wrapping up the 42nd day of our daily power hour, where we try to come to you with the strategies that will harbor and foster growth in success, wealth, and fulfillment. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Until tomorrow, another day, 43rd episode, between 12 to 1 p.m. for 1 hour. We go live. Okay, thank you so much. Be well, people. Thank you so much, Snooch. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Nassim. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Snooch. All of you guys. The Big Meow from Pakistan. All of you guys, thank you so much for coming around, and love you all. Thank you.